Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. It's going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. This is an account takeover of Doman. Doman was one of my winners from an account giveaway, I think right back at like 10k subs. Basically, he's been preparing the account for a long time because he didn't want me to come in when he had a lack of resources and kind of waste his opportunity, I guess. So at the moment, he is 2k in Nightmare Clan Boss, so he's got a good team going. See here, we're hitting for 23 million per key. He said pretty much any affinity can 2 key, so he's quite comfortable with his kind of Nightmare team. But as a clan, they're just getting ready to boost themselves up to Ultra Nightmare. He has tried it before. He usually gets about 14 million. Obviously, 14 million is not going to get him that top chest. You need to be closer to sort of 18 million to be able to get that top chest. So it's just sort of said, can I have a look at it? Is there anything I can do? I mean, just on the face of it, looking at his team here, it's a solid team. This is hard. When you come into an account like this, it's already pretty much sitting at end game. He's got good champions. He's got a good idea of what team should go out there. It's quite hard to do, you know, to come in and make a difference here. I have to look at sort of min-maxing champions. So let's just see how we're doing. I'm not even sure. Yeah, so we're way past the sort of 90 days. I mean, for 90 days, this is pretty underdeveloped, I would say. But there's some work to be done. He's working on accuracy now. Obviously, he is not on the Arbiter, or he's on the Arbiter missions, but he's not kind of got to stacking out a 10 yet. So I guess he's kind of going 10 here. I did notice he had a Cult Brawler and Steel Skull in there and Martyr. So I guess accuracy in green is really good for him. That's a really good approach. Defense here is a good approach as well. So yeah, it feels like he's on the right path. Just needs to kind of crack on and keep going. Let's have a look then at his roster. So, oh, some nice champs there. So what have we got? What have we got here? So we just saw his clan boss team, and it's a solid one. There is actually some options here, and I guess controversially, I've seen the strongest teams I've seen on clan boss in terms of damage, or the best team I've seen has been Apothecary with Raglin, with Martyr, with Nephril, or it might have been a Draco actually, with Draco I think. Oh, he does have Draco, yeah, with Draco. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think it might have even been with Tyrant. And the idea of it may be with Tyrant, or it may have been with Duchess. I'll check it out in a second and I'll show you a picture to it. But basically, that team was doing 50 million on Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. And the reason for it was Raglin is just an absolute beast in a speed comp, but she's not brilliant in just like a standard comp. So she's got this, so she's got an A1 that hits 3 times, firstly. And then it also fills the turn meter of 3 random allies by 15%. So you've got a turn meter gain here. Allies can only have 1 turn meter gain, yeah, that's fine. She's also got to remove all debuffs, so she becomes your debuffer champion, and that's proportional to her attack. She's got healing as well, and then she's also got this revive and fill turn meter ability. So she's actually pretty insanely good. But she needs to be in a speed comp rather than just like a standard comp. So her with a fast Apothecary, both of these need to be around 260 speed. It's quite gear reliant. Both of these go fast. Draco goes fast, applying his decreased defense and weaken, and then he's spamming out poisons, so poisons are always stacked. Martyr puts out her decreased attack, and she's got the counter attack basically up all the time. So you've got poison, you've got decreased defense, weaken, you've got decreased attack, you've got speed for days, and then you've got someone like a Tyrant who has got a passive that basically reduces damage coming into you when the opponent's on HP burn. He's obviously on HP burn, and he's also got this ally protection, increased defense. So between the team, you've got 2 increased defenses, you've got poison, you've got all of the debuffs you need, and you've got speed. Now I would love to give that a go. I don't think Raglin's booked here. Not sure that really matters, maybe apart from this one. If we had a book here, that would be ideal, but I don't think even that really matters. I think it's just her kit that does the work. So he's not ascended. He's also not booked. That's a shame. I think that might be a bit of a letdown for that team comp, not having this book, because we do need the rotation on the poisons. And we do need his decreased defense and weaken up as often as possible. But it's definitely an option. It's definitely an option. If not, if we went with standard composition, which obviously is easier to do, it's an easier setup, just less gear reliant, then we have got a Martyr here, we've got a Skull Crusher, we've got a Tyrant. So you've got kind of 3 pieces of a puzzle to have a really high-end team. We would then pull in the Draco for decreased defense and weaken and some poison. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we would need our decrease attack champion, which I think would actually be in this team, Jareg. Reason it would be Jareg over Tyrell, or it could be Jareg or it could be Padma. Reason why I prefer Jareg is that he also brings another ally protection. So ally protection lapping each other means that basically they're sharing damage. So for Ultra Clan Boss, what you don't want is, for Ultra Nightmare, you don't want one person taking ally protection twice in a row. You actually want to share it to somebody else. So if Skull Crusher took it, you then want to pass it on to someone like Tyrant, and then pass it on again. So you're kind of rotating the ally protection. So he's just got so many options here, which is quite cool. The only thing he's lacking probably is a really good debuff extender, but I don't think you necessarily need it with a team as effective as what we've got here. So anyway, I'm going to get into just sort of working out some gear, that type of stuff. I guess we should just have a run through how are they geared so far quickly. 4K defense is strong. Speed is good for Nightmare, but not Ultra. Accuracy is good for Nightmare, but not Ultra. So his accuracy would need to come up. Tyrant is not geared for Clan Boss. Or maybe he is. Maybe he is. A bit low on defense. Good accuracy. That's not too bad a build. Razin is built for Nightmare right now. Good crit rate. So it looks like he's gone crit rate gloves, I think. Yeah. So that's quite a good build here. 4K defense still with that crit is nice. Again, his accuracy is too low if you want to take him up to Ultra Nightmare. Skull Crusher's not built at all. Jareg is way too low on defense if you wanted to take him into Clan Boss. So you need to push this up at least 3k, probably more like 3.5k for Ultra Nightmare. Who else have we got out there? These boys, these Poisoners, way too low defense. Way too low defense. So your 2 damage dealers are going to be the ones that die super early in the team that he's got right now, which is why they're not going to work for Ultra Nightmare. If you push their defense up significantly, this accuracy is just too high really. You push their defense up significantly, same here, then they last a huge amount longer. Probably means he's got an accuracy chest, no? He's got tons of accuracy on the gear, I guess. So those 2 would need to be tweaked. And then this guy is just built for speed, probably built for other things in the game right now. But this is probably the sort of speed you need to be getting to if you wanted to run that speed comp. And this guy is, again, he's just way too low. All of his Poisoners are just way too low on defense, which means they're just going to die too early. So anyway, I'm going to get into re-gearing these guys and show you where we get to. So I've been thinking through this team. A good way to just move from Nightmare Clan Boss to Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss for a team like this, when you've got a second counter-attacker, is actually you just build your second counter-attacker to have 191 speed, and you leave the rest of your team at the same speeds that they are. That way you can just step up, sub in your second counter-attacker for one of the other team members, and they can all run Ultra Nightmare at the same speed. I'll show you how we do this. So I'm going to build up this Skull Crusher to 191 and his stats. I'll do a bit of tweaking elsewhere, but we'll do one run on Ultra Nightmare, just introducing Skull Crusher, and you'll see that that same team that can 2-key Nightmare can actually go and run Ultra Nightmare as well. So I'm just going to do a gear cleanse on items. Now what I tend to look for on any jewelry items, the best you can find is a ring with 3 substats which are percent. So if you're going to keep an attack ring, you really want to get at least attack percentage beneath it. HP, you want defense or HP beneath it. And then we kind of work through. Now, defense rings are way more valuable in this game than attack rings 90% of the time. This is almost a perfect ring. 6-star ring, HP and defense on a defense ring. This would be ideal for somebody like a Skull Crusher or anyone else really. So if you look at the ring he's wearing right now, it's already good. This would just improve him. I'm not going to roll it up because he's already got a plus 16 on it. But if you're looking for min-maxing, then this ring would definitely go on Skull Crusher. so I won't sell that. But then when I look down to, so we've got here 3 percentages on an HP ring, that's very good as well. 3 percentages, 3 percentages. So we've got an attack ring here. We've already got several attack rings. This one is actually pretty good as well. I probably wouldn't sell it. This one, I would probably use a defense ring like this on an attack-based champion when I'm trying to keep somebody alive. So all of those rings are actually pretty good. I probably wouldn't sell any of those rings. Let's come down here to the bottom end. Keep, keep, keep. That one's kind of 50-50. Would I want it or not? When you've got this many rings, I'd probably sell it. That's a keeper. That would go, because basically it's an HP one, which is less used. Attack and flat stat defense. Compared to how many we've got here, it's not going to be worth keeping. That one's kind of 50-50, because I don't really want attack based on a defense person, but I would keep it for an attack champion. And that's what I'm looking at here. 2 flat stats on an HP percentage. It's 50-50 again. Do you want to just try and roll up HP? I would sell that one. Same scenario there. That's better, because at least you're getting more value out of the ring. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of checking through. So that's rings. On amulets, what I'm doing is I'm looking for either crit damage, ideally with either accuracy, resistance down the bottom here would be the best, because pretty much every champion needs either accuracy or resistance. So I'll keep this for the accuracy and resistance, even though it's HP. And same here. Now I've got 2 of those. If I had a third one, I'd probably get rid of it. So I've got a third one here. Or probably what I would do, actually, is I would probably roll them up to level 8 and then decide if any of them are worth just selling off. So all of this stuff's good. It doesn't feel like I need to do a major cleanse in this account. He's got a good idea of how to gear. This one, yeah, I'll keep it just for the accuracy. Same here, but if I rolled on this one and I didn't roll accuracy, I'd probably sell it. So that's generally what I'm doing. But you do want to keep, I'm not seeing many defense ones. So defense ones like this are good for any clan boss champion. Defense with accuracy is about where you want to be. So anyway, there's not much to sell in this account on jewelry items. I'm not going to go in and kind of just min-max there. It feels like we've got some really good management of gear in this account. The only reason really you go in and start selling items here now is just if you're trying to gold build or you're trying to clear out. But he's actually got a really good grasp of what to keep and what not to keep. So I don't need to do anything there. There's nothing standing out to me here that would just be straight in the bin. If I do the same on actual main items, so the first thing I'd say, it's worth keeping accuracy set, speed set, lifesteal set generally. They're good sets to have. This is probably an excess of items. And the point is here, there's absolutely no way, even though it's not got bad stats on it, there's no way you're using this 4-star piece when you're now at this level of game that you're always going to have 5 or 6-star pieces. So unless they're really good ones that have been rolled up, like this one, it's just not worth keeping. So what we're looking for here is a combination of stats. We're looking for speed, accuracy, crit rate, crit damage, HP percentage, defense percentage. They're really the main stats that I'm looking to keep. This one on an accuracy set, it's probably not a keeper really. That's not really a keeper on an accuracy set. That's not really a keeper on an accuracy set. I probably wouldn't have rolled it unless I'm just trying to do the artifact event. Here we've got 2 of the ones that we want, so that is a keep. Here we've got 2 of the ones, but it's not an amazing piece. You kind of want to find speed in amongst that really. So this, again, it's on the edge. It's got speed, but it doesn't have any of the other ones that I want. Here we land crit rate and speed, so that's a really nice piece. Crit rate, HP. Again, it's kind of borderline, but it's not bad. That one's going to go, even though it's 6-star, it's just terrible substat. This is like great for a blue piece. Speed, crit rate, definitely keeping. So that's what I do. I go through different gear sets, and it's all relevant to your account level. So at the moment, I'm being quite critical because he's got so many bits of gear. Like this one, straight in the bin. There's no need for it. Same with that one. Same with that one. Same with that one. That's good. So it's got double roll of good stats. That one was kind of iffy. And yeah, it's down to your account and your requirements, but I'm just looking for those kind of 2 rolls of good stats on the same pieces when you get to this sort of level. Otherwise, what you end up doing is just kind of filling your gear sets up with stuff that you just don't really need, or you're never really going to roll, or you're just wasting silver to roll. So You know, these ones here, again, they're iffy. Maybe you would use them. Anything that's got like this crit rate and damage, I would always roll it up. So it can be useful for some sort of farmer or some sort of nuker. And yeah, and when it comes to things like gloves, chests, boots, I'm looking for, is there a flat stat main? If it is, that's straight in the bin. Shame on you, Doman. Shame on you. You watch my videos. You know this shouldn't be here. Attack based on gloves is probably a sell as well. You really want to find crit rate or crit damage on gloves for offense. HP percentage is always going to be useful. Defense percentage is always going to be useful. So I would keep all of those initially on these type of items. Attack percentage on a chest is useful, by the way. It's just gloves that I wouldn't keep generally. So these all look pretty good. No flat stats there. And then for boots, I'm looking for speed boots or defense percentage or attack percentage or HP percentage. For something like attack percentage, it's only really ever used on kind of niche champions that you want to nuke with. And it might be an arena champ, it might be a campaign farmer. For somebody that's got defense boots, ideally you want speed in the substat. That would be the ideal because you're still looking to boost speed up. And they're mainly used in clan boss. And HP is probably less used than all of those, but it can be used in clan boss as well. Okay, I'm going to keep going with this and then we'll get into proper gear and stuff. So yeah, we've got 150 odd items to get rid of here. There's only a couple of flat stats in there. It's mainly just prioritizing what bits of gear you're actually going to use when you play this game. So get rid of those. Gives us another 4 million silver to work with, which is much needed when you're doing reworks like this. And then we're just going to get into building Skull Crusher. Okay, I've transformed this team. What have I done? Let me start with Skull Crusher. So Skull Crusher I've built from scratch. He has got mammoth defense, good speed, exactly the speed we need. So he's going to be our Ultra Nightmare counter-attacker. Don't need accuracy on this guy, so all we need is the right speed, which is 191. Good defense, good HP. So he's good to go. That means now that we can run the rest of the team speed 172 to 189 and still be able to do Nightmare as well as Ultra Nightmare. So Marta is, all I've done with Marta is given her more accuracy. So I've switched out a banner to an accuracy banner. I've spiked up her defense a little bit. So she is now looking much better. 4k defense, 267 accuracy, still got good crit rate and damage, good HP. So she's in good shape. So these two will play together if we go into Ultra Nightmare. If we stay on Nightmare, Skull Crusher stays out of the team. So I've also built Tyrant in Lifesteal gear. So he's going to be part of the team when we have a Skull Crusher in the team. 4.4k defense, 35k HP, good accuracy, he's good to go. Padma was already built. I've not changed this build at all. She would be useful in some of the affinity bosses, but Jared is my attack down champion of choice. I built his defense right up. His defense was about 2k. I put it up to 3.5k. Still got solid HP, right speed to get in the team. 220 accuracy is strong as well. So he's good to go. Razin is also good to go. His accuracy is a bit low. He is coming in only for Nightmare. He won't come in for Ultra Nightmare. I've rebuilt Occult Brawler so that he has got much better defense, over 1,000 more defense. Speed's good, accuracy's still good, HP's still good. And I have rebuilt Steel Skull in a similar way. So 3.2k defense. HP's a bit low actually. Speed is okay and accuracy's good. His speed's actually a tiny bit high. I just noticed that. I probably just need to swap these boots up. I don't want to take his accuracy down too much, but I just want to take that speed down 5 to make sure that we don't outrun the clan boss. So everything there is good to go. Draco probably would come in if he was ascended, but he's not ready. The other thing just to check is masteries. So what we don't want is a load of speed gain in masteries like these two here. This one and this one are what you don't want if you're going to do a speed tune team like we're doing here. So I'm just going to go through and just make sure that all of them are right. I think they are. That one's fine. That one is good as well. Yeah, it looks like Doman's got a really good feel for what he needs on masteries. This one's good as well. And so is this one. Okay, so everyone is good to go. So we're going to run in. No, we don't want to buy stuff. Plarium, we don't want to. Get your game fixed, then we might think about buying stuff again. We don't want all these offers. Wow, so many offers. No, thank you. Unbelievable. Right, let's get into a fight. So we are going to start with Ultra Nightmare, I think. Or should I start with Nightmare? Maybe I'm going to start with Nightmare and just get Dome in his second key. And what I'm going to do here is run Marta. Maybe let's run. I might just run the same team as what he had before. Let's just see. Green Affinity. Going to beat up Razin a bit. I don't really want Razin to get the beats. Don't want him to get the beat down. So I think what I'm going to do is just sub him out for Tyrant. Tyrant works nice in this team. Yeah, that's good. So his 22 million key, he told me, or whatever it was, 23 million, was him doing that on manual. So I'm going to do the same. Manual this comp through. I've never actually used a Padma, would you believe, in all this time. So let's just see what we've got going on here. There's our attack down. There's our poisons going on. So yeah, I'm going to run this through and then I'll bring you back in for the end. So we want to go HP burn on him. Nice. Counter attacks on and away we go. So yeah, we run this through. Let's see what the damage is at the end and then we'll get on to Ultra Nightmare. Okay, so we're coming in at 18.8 million. On a Green Affinity, I'm actually not that sad about it. I think 18.8 against Green Affinity is pretty good. He does the slowdown, which throws out all of my counter. I completely forgot when we went in there. Throws out all of my kind of counter speed tune. And yeah, 18.8 is not bad, actually. So what we're going to do, we're going for a fresh Ultra Nightmare. This is going to be a better test of the team. So what we want to have here is our Jareg coming in, who is going to be our decreased attack champion. We've got a Cult Brawl. I think I'm going to take one of these out. I definitely want to have in my Steel Skull. He needs to come into this team. We've built up a number. Now, a Cult Brawler brings more poison, so I could put a Cult Brawler here. However, Steel Skull brings a cleanse and poison. So it's quite a tricky one as to what to go for. I think I would rather go for... I'm going to try both, I think, but I'm going to go this way first. Let's see what happens if we don't have a cleanse in the team. And there's a number of things I could try here. So I could go... sub out Tyrant and have both poisoners in. I could bring in Razin. I could, yeah, there's tons of things I could do. Lose Marta. You know, so for different affinities, we've got a number of different options here. But we're going to try this way first. So again, I'm just going to let this roll through, and yeah, I'll bring it back on once we're done. Skull Crusher was 191 speed, so everybody has gone. Everybody's gone on that first turn in terms of a counter attack. That's why he's in there. That's the reason why you bring him in at 191. But yeah, anyway, we're going to keep this rolling and I'll let you know how we do. So, pretty good. We're coming at 21.1 million on Ultra Nightmare, first run. A lot of damage coming in from a Cult Brawler. Kept the poisons going really well. I guess Tyrant's actually done a lot of damage as well with his HP burn up. Skull Crusher was required. So what I'm going to try now is actually take Marta out of the mix and bring in Steel Skull instead. I think we've probably got some keys in the Battle Pass here. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to try now. Take Marta out completely so she is not speed tuned for this. We're going to put Jareg in as the lead. Am I or Tyrant? Yeah, that's fine. Go like this, and then we've pretty much got the same setup again, but without double counter now. So we've only got single counter, but we have got someone who's going to cleanse the stun. So I wasn't able to cleanse the stuns in the last turn. We're going to try it now and see what damage I do if I'm able to cleanse the stuns. The only thing with this is, though, you have to do it manually with Steel Skull because he does wafty cleansing. So, yeah, we're going to do it this way. And again, I'll let you know how we get on. Okay, so this time what I'm going to try is Skull Crusher as the counter attack. Then we're going to have a damage mitigation here, HP burn, some poison, decrease defense and weaken, and then we're going to Padma in as the decrease attack and see how this runs. So again, we get the counter attack up early so that we always get the first hits from everybody. Start getting the poisons rolling, start getting the decrease attack on. Obviously, Razin is in there purely to do the weaken and stuff for us. Here we go, decrease defense and weaken, which makes everyone else hit harder. Still got the HP burn on. You see, we're still sort of stacking up. We've already got 7 debuffs on after just one wave of ability. So Occult Brawler is great because he brings so much poison, but sometimes he actually brings too much in the way of debuffs. So just something to think about. You know, do you have other options in your team? So at the moment, this team's got tons of options, actually. Tons of options. So we should get the stun going on Tyrant. All being well, yeah. And he's obviously stacked with defense. Steel Skull picks him out, and then we go again, basically reset abilities, and decrease defense and weaken's going to come back at the right sort of time to reactivate it. So anyway, I'm going to run this through, and then I'll show you the results. Okay, I'm just going to try a second team here. So we're taking Tyrant and Jereg out, put Steel Skull in, and I've put in Padma for the decrease attack. So we're going to try this team. Doesn't mean that Steel Skull's got less backup for when he does his counter. So when he does his ally protection, see how much damage he takes there, because he's taking a percentage of everybody else's damage. With the other two, Tyrant and with Jereg, they take that off of him, so he's under less pressure. But we shall see. Let's see how this one runs, and I think it's going to be the last one I do for Clan Boss. Okay, we've come to the end, and this team has kicked out 19.7. So it looks like around 20 million is going to be the cap for the teams that we're running here. I guess probably the next step is to start to gain more damage through just kind of building up this Great Hall. That would make a big difference to the team. But all in all, 20 million. So you're going to be 14 the Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss comfortably, which, you know, pretty much what I've done. I've come in, I've taken a team that was doing 20 million in Nightmare and pushed that team on to be doing 20 million in Ultra Nightmare. So very cool. Happy with that. I think what we'll do next is just go in. There's a particular dungeon where his auto times in Ice Golem are really slow. So we're talking like 7 minutes plus. He just said, is there any way we can try and get those down to a more sensible time? So he's actually got in here he's got great champions to be able to do that. So we just need to get some of the AoE damage in here to help out. Now I think Martyr is a good person to have in. Apothecary is always good in these sort of dungeons. So is Raglan, actually. Raglan would be good here for things like the cleanse. So we put Raglan in for cleanse. We've got decreased defense and attack here. Miscreated Monster is always good for these sort of dungeons as well, but he's not built up yet. Yeah, we're actually just short a bit of AoE damage. We could pull in someone like Sylar. Maybe we try Sylar. Padma. Do we need a Padma? Yeah, let's try this. So the main thing you want to get going on these is you want decreased defense and weaken up if you can get it, but at least decreased defense. Because what happens is you'll just do tons more damage when you start to put out your AoE hits. And that's obviously how you get through the waves quicker. So we've got a number of different AoE hitters here. You see that? On counter attack, the AoE just absolutely nukes from Sylar. So we're getting through the first wave in about 30 seconds or so, which is quite good. Maybe a little bit more. You can't put decreased defense and weaken up whilst she's got that going on. Should get a return hit here. It's actually quite a weak one. Through the first wave, 40 seconds. Not too bad. Here comes the next wave. This wave's quite tricky. You need to take them down quite quick, otherwise we get all of the silly shenanigans going on from the front guys. Putting on that sort of block damage. But this looks pretty good. We've got so many debuffs on them, they're actually not really getting proper goes. So we had a taunt on first time round. This time round, they're both slowed. Got good nukes coming in there. So just over a minute onto the main boss. This is always going to be slow. I mean, the main boss is just difficult to deal with, but getting that decreased defense across the board is helpful. And we've got a number of sort of AoE hitters. We want poisons to get onto the boss as well. Ideally, you want to be taking that boss out as early, taking the ads out as early as possible. And the poisons just kind of keep the damage ticking over. So Draco's in there for the poisons. And just spread a few around. That's one of the ads down. So I'm going to just fly through until the end here. I think it's probably going to be around a 4-minute run, which is not bad. for a team like this. Okay, so it actually came in 3 minutes 12. So we've divided his best time so far by a third. I'm just checking this. Sylar did basically no damage. I didn't build her myself. Just want to check what build we've got. Okay, terrible build. That's why. Terrible build. Just want someone who's got AoE damage that's actually got a decent build. Maybe we go in there with a Cold Heart. Let's try that. So we're going to do the same run again. I'm just going to flick straight through to the end screen rather than make you watch a load of stuff again. But let's try it with a Cold Heart, and then we're going to try it with that Skull Crown as well. Or should I try it with a Seer? If this Seer was built up, I definitely would be doing Seer runs here. Seer would be pretty mental on this stage. Where is that? Cold Hearts. Where are you? Here we go. Let's try this. Okay, so we'll try this one. We've got two different AoE damages. We've got another AoE decreased defense here. I think this will probably just be a bit quicker than the last setup. But the last one wasn't bad, 3 minutes, so we shall see. So we're coming there, 2 minutes 45. That's pretty decent. I think there's still a bit more we can be doing. Maybe Tayrail's not who we need here. And I'll do one more run, just throwing in maybe a Steel Skull as a bit of a heal. No, Apothecary, speed and healing. That's what we want. Try this one. So 2:45 so far, best time. Let's see how we go. Okay, so this looks stable. We've got 2:45, around 3 minutes. Pretty happy with that. Taking it down from 9. Next one then is Fire Knights. So Fire Knights, again, although we've got a 122 here, the average run that he's doing is more like 7 to 8 minutes. I mean, the team doesn't feel that bad. Red Affinity. I probably would still want Apothecary in my lineup. Cold Heart is decent for this. Razzin's decent. Nephril, when he's up and running, is actually amazing here. He would be someone I'd advise to get going as soon as possible. But other than that, I'd say the team probably stands. Maybe... Yeah, I think the team's right. So I'm just curious as to why this has taken so long. Maybe it's just that the builds were not quite strong enough. So potentially with the builds that I've done now, we might just run it quicker anyway. Let's have a look. Let's see if this runs just a bit faster now. Sometimes it is just down to gearing, and you know, gearing's so important on this game. So, well, what we'll do is we'll let this run through. We've got decreased defense in here again. We've got weaken in here, albeit it's single target. Maybe that's what we needed actually. Maybe we wanted a AoE decreased defense up front. That would help us kill stuff much quicker. Anyway, let this run through and then we'll try another run in a sec. Okay, this feels pretty stable. 2 minutes 30 is always solid for Fire Knights, so pretty happy with that. So we've got Fire Knights done, we've got Ice Golems done. Let's have a bit of a whiz at Dragons. Draco always helps a bit of Dragons, so I'm sure that's going to get better as well. Ooh, do we have energy? I think we might have some energy in here, do we? He's used it all. Brutal. Well, we're going to do one refill just for fun. Sorry about that, Doman, but we're just going to crack on. We're cracking on. We're in the mood. So what we're going to do here, he's already got a similar team to what I would run. I probably would put Tayrail in the team for his AoE hits. Potentially I would put this fella in as well. So we've got Poison, AoE, Speed, Nuke. Her Nuke I don't really need. So I think we've got enough nukage here. Again, Nephril coming into this team would be pretty solid. Martyr into this team, even though she's the worst affinity for it, I think that's still pretty solid. So I think this might be better. Try this. But again, anything around 2 minutes is decent for Dragon. So just throwing in those AoE nukes is kind of what we want here. Cold Heart's pretty good in this kind of setup as well. Obviously, with counterattacks on, you're kind of just always getting hits back. Counterattack's not always the quickest way to do things, though, because counterattack can actually slow you down. Raglan's pretty much only in there for cleanse and revives if we need it. You see how hard Martyr can hit on her AoE provoked hit. She's pretty nuts. So we're going to be, what, 30 odd seconds through wave 1. It's not bad. bit longer, 40 odd seconds. You kind of need to be doing it in 40 seconds to get through to the dragon and kill the dragon within 2 minutes. Got a fair amount of damage going through. It looks like we're going to be, yeah. So I want about 1:20. By 1:20, I want to be getting through to the dragon, basically. We should just about do that. Almost bang on, I think. Yeah, bang on 1:20. And then we just need to make sure that we're constantly getting our Giant Slayer procs off. Yeah, poisons up, that type of thing. I think this is fine. So this team's decent. This team will run it easily. We're getting through his sort of damage purple layer quite successfully there. Actually doing pretty fast damage on this boss now. Obviously we've got the poisons layered up, which is good. He's got decreased attack on him anyway, so if he does come at us, he hits us much weaker than he would do. And we've got our counter attacks up for when he does do his hits as well. So it's going to be just over 2 minutes. Probably end up being about 2:10, but that is not bad. That's it. Just slam those poisons on Draco. That's how we get rid of this guy quicker. There we go. So that is Dragon. Best time as well. I think we're probably just about done there. Maybe have a quick look at spiders and just see how that is looking as well. And then we'll kind of leave it as job done. So spiders, we've got, this is his auto team. Speed, AoE, decreased defense, HP burn. This team feels again pretty solid. Maybe I would do this for the nuke. Let's try this. So we should have a setup of speed up, followed by HP burn, or yeah, sorry, decreased defense and weaken. We get decreased attack everywhere. HP burns all over the place. This is where the damage starts to come in. So actually the Cold Heart is in trouble. That's why she's not in the team, I guess. This team definitely does it. I need a way to protect that Cold Heart. I don't want the Cold Heart taking the damage. So what I actually want to do is just put in probably a negative affinity tank like a Razin to take that initial burst of damage. And we take someone like the Padma out. HP burns back on though, so this is going to be what eventually kills the spider. Tyrant's amazing at this level. Tyrant's one of the strongest legendaries for spider. Just to give you that sort of, well, to give you a load of utility actually. It gives you the HP burn, but it also gives you ally support, it gives you increased defense. There's tons of stuff that he brings to the table there. So this is looking pretty solid. I think we're going to end up around 1:30 probably. Might need to wait for one more one more HP burn. But there it is. Now as they move, chunk, 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 down goes the spider. There we go. So that is a 1:27.